Mitt Romney has broken his silence about the controversy over his time at Bain Capital. How could he have left Bain and at the same time still be the boss at Bain? Facing a firestorm, the campaign hastily arranged interviews with 5 media outlets late today. Here's what he told NBC's Peter Alexander just minutes ago.
You said that you retired from Bain Capital in February of 1999, but there are SEC filings that list you as the chief executive, president, and managing director of Bain in 2000 and 2001. So if you were officially the boss in those years, why aren't you still responsible for Bain Capital's activities, including the outsourcing of jobs at that time?
In February of 1999, I left Bain Capital and left all management authority and responsibility for the firm. I had no ongoing activity or involvement in the affairs of Bain Capital because I went out to run the Olympics. And so in February of 99, I became the full-time chief executive officer of the Salt Lake Olympic Organizing Committee. And I had, after that time, no work whatsoever with the Bain Capital people, no responsibility or activity with the management of Bain Capital. And that's been documented. Every independent fact checker that's looked at it said, yes, you're absolutely right. And the president's campaign has been, I think, outrageous in making the kind of charges they have. I think the kinds of attacks are beneath the dignity of the presidency. I think the president needs to rein in his campaign and start talking about the real issues people care about, which relate to our economy.
So I just want to clarify this then. After February of 1999, you never attended a single meeting for Bain, a business meeting, even by phone attending a meeting regarding Bain or Bain-controlled entities?
You've asked quite a few questions there, so let's go through. I didn't involve myself in any way with Bain Capital's enterprise after February of 1999.
Not participating in a single meeting, either in person or by phone?
I don't recall a single meeting or single participation in an investment decision by Bain or personnel decision. I left the firm. I was full-time running the Olympics in 2002 and in the years leading up to it.
We asked because the Salt Lake Tribune, it was in 2001 that you said, I've now decided that I'm officially separated from Bain Capital and I'm not going to go back. So the question is about that window of time, but you insist there was no involvement with the company at that period of time.
I had no management responsibility or activity within Bain Capital. Now, as an owner, I could have gone back, all right? You have the ownership potential. I could have gone back and taken over, but I didn't. I left and went on to run the Olympic Games. That's where I spent all my time. And the management of the firm was taken over by the 18 or so partners that were there.
Joining me now is Cynthia Tucker, Pulitzer Prize-winning syndicated columnist and now visiting professor of journalism at the University of Georgia. And back with us, David Bernstein, political reporter for the Boston Phoenix, who first broke this Bain story. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you.
David, Mr. Romney says he left Bain Capital in 1999. That's that. End of story, he says. What's your analysis?
Well, he now seems to be saying, yes, I did stay on technically as the owner and technically as the CEO and president and managing director, but I didn't have anything to do with anything. And he seems to be parsing his words very carefully about exactly what he had nothing to do with. He says he doesn't recall having any meetings by phone. People are going to have to judge this for themselves. It seems like he is at least admitting the fact that he was technically the guy who was in charge of the company for that period of time. And he hasn't, we know that he wasn't directly involved day to day. There's no disputing that. The question is whether he had responsibility, whether he had any kind of activity back and forth. And right now what we have is his word for it. And, as you've discussed many times and I've discussed with you before, sometimes his word is not 100% reliable. So people are going to have to look further into it, I think. There's going to be specific questions about specific things that went on where he's going to have to answer specifically about, did you know about this? Could you have stopped this if you wanted to and chose to let it go, so forth?
Isn't that really the point? Did you know about the outsourcing? Did you know about the job layoffs? And could you have done something about it, and shouldn't you have looked into it? All of the other stuff, I think, is really immaterial. But let me ask you something, Cynthia. He said in this interview that we just saw at NBC that he had nothing to do with personnel, nothing to do with anything. Yet Romney said he left Bain 99. But back in that time, Salt Lake Herald Tribune reported in 99, quote, I'm reading from their story in 99, Romney said he will stay on as a part-timer with Bain, providing input on investment and key personnel decisions. But he will leave running the day-to-day operations to Bain's executive committee. So this report in 99 directly conflicts with what he just said.
Well, that's not the only time that there was a conflict. When he ran for governor of Massachusetts in order to establish residency, he also said that he came back for business meetings. What other business did he have? He remained the owner of Bain Company. Do you mean to tell me that as the sole owner, he left all the major decisions to somebody else? I have a hard time believing that.
Well, David, you've been covering Will and Mitt Romney for a long time. If he came back to Massachusetts for business meetings, what other business could he have had? He owned Bain Capital, was one of the owners. He said he came back. That helped him to establish residency to run. Was he lying then, or is he lying now?
Well, one of the things is that he's got so much business going on in so many different entities just within Bain, as well as any other investments that he might have had personally. It's hard to say. Plus, he did come back, for instance, to meet with David D'Alessandro to tell him, David D'Alessandro, the head of John Hancock, to say to him, as has been reported in the past, to say to him, I need you to re-up your Olympic sponsorship, because if I lose all these Olympic sponsors, my political career is going to be dead.
Would that kind of meeting have qualified as residency, though?
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I know that he said at that time that he did come back for Staples meetings and others like that. We just don't know. He won't outline those. And
we're going to have to leave it there. We're out of time. But clearly, he's got a lot of explaining to explain. Cynthia Tucker, David Bernstein, thanks for your time tonight. Both of you have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. I'm Al Sharpton. Hardball starts right now.